What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Lil Fat Mushy Toe, representing the WCIS. We can't inspire someone. OPP only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Hev. Shout out to Uncle DV. And shout out to the community that's all about a unity. Hold on, let me do it right. A unity. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's feeling good, feeling great, happy. Hopefully everybody had a good, happy weekend. Bad girl. What up, bad girl? Sniper's in the building. What's going on, bad girl? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're feeling wonderful. And I hope everybody had a great weekend. All right. Shout out to Waterbed Hev. Waterbed Hev said he ain't gonna be able to make it tonight, y'all. He started a new job and they gave him some homework. So Hev is studying to make sure he keep his job. You know, you don't want to get grand opening, grand closing, get hired and then get fired, you know. So yeah, Hev won't be on the show tonight, but I'll hold it down. You know, we'll have a good show. Everybody, you know, y'all can come on in, jump into the show, co-host the show. You can actually host the show. Let me be the co-host. It don't make a difference to me. We got a good Jay Cooks is in the building. What up, Jay Cooks? Welcome to the stream, my brother, over on the Instagram. I'm streaming live on YouTube, streaming live on Facebook. If you want to come on over to the YouTube or the Facebook, let's go to YouTube and type in WCIS1, and we'll be right there, bro. Bad girl, how you doing tonight? Everybody that's in the background, step to the front of the stage. State your name and state your age. Welcome to the stream, all right? Tonight we got a good topic. All right, everybody lurking in the background, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. All right, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. If you don't want to comment, it's cool. But, you know, help the channel out. Help support the positivity. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can see when I go live, see when Waterbed Hev goes live, and everybody else that joins me on the stream. Bad Girl Sniper. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I can't complain, you know. Can't complain. I'm feeling good. I got prior episode playing in the background. I just looked back. I said, wow, wait a minute. We're looking pretty crispy over there. We looking pretty crispy over there on that screen. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, let me stop looking because I ain't going to be focusing on the show. What up? I love you, baby. Not like I love my guitar. What up, Laura? Guitar's in the building. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right. Hopefully everybody's feeling good. All right. So tonight, to help me out, I mean, I got a topic for tonight, but I'm also going to bring out my deck of cards right here. Gonna pull some cards and answer some questions from the deck of inquiries. All right, so we're gonna put that right there over on the side. Let me add the link to the chat so everybody can let me copy that real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so everybody, tonight, let me go show y'all what we're talking about. We're talking about worst breakups and petty moments. All right, we're talking about you done had your heart broken, or if you was the heartbreaker yourself, you know, let's look at it from both sides of the coin. You know, sometimes we the heartbreaker, sometimes we breaking the hearts. On this side of the snow, little brother Tove, it's snowing here in New York. Well, it was snowing here in New York. Yesterday, and it was snowing earlier today. It's calmed down now, so we're doing pretty good. Oh, Jasmine, what up, Jasmine? Welcome to the stream, girl. How you doing? I felt like you ain't been up in here talking with us for a while. Where you been? Hopefully you feeling good, feeling great. Welcome back to the stream. We got a good topic tonight. All right, we talking worst breakups. We talking most petty moments. You know, and what did we learn from those breakups? What did we learn from those petty moments? How did we become better people? You know, how did we be able to get over that heartbreak? Or what did you learn from breaking someone else's heart? We're talking about all of that tonight. All right. If anybody want to ask any advice, ask any questions, All questions will be read in the will be placed on the screen and will be read. I'll answer all questions. Any questions that you have will be put up onto the screen and will be answered. All right. So if y'all have any questions that y'all want to talk about, y'all want to get into any topics that y'all really want to, Jasmine, when you gonna come be on the show too? Like, hold up, you supposed to been on the show. I'll put you on full blast. She said, I'm back. All right, all right. That's good. That's good. All right. So to get into the topic, and Jasmine, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. And also, I missed you guys. We missed you too, Jasmine. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that the thumbs up. All right. It helps the channel, it helps the algorithm of the channel. And it just makes me feel good when I see people supporting the positivity. All right. So, what was the worst breakup you ever had? You know, like that breakup where you felt like, yo, I'm not gonna never get over this. You know, those type of breakups that you could look back and laugh at it now, but in the moment you was like, yo, this ain't no laughing matter. This is serious. You know, what did you learn from it? How did you become better from it? Um, and on the flip side of it, you know, have you been the heartbreaker? You know, think about how many hearts have you broken? How many people have been attracted to you or wanting to get to know you better and you didn't give them the time of day? You know, we're going to get into all of that, all right? So at what age did you first, everybody's watching, at what age did you first experience heartbreak? You know, when did you experience heartbreak? At what age? You know, we talking about like that puppy love heartbreak. All right. Uh-oh. Who done jumped on? Oh, Waterbed Have done jumped on the screen in the background. What a shout out to Waterbed Have. He started his new job yesterday. All right. Shout out to Waterbed Have. Also, let me know how's everything sounding? Is it sounding crispy? Is it sounding clear? Everything sounding good? If everything is sounding good, let me know. So for me, going back to when I was younger, yeah, Hev is in the background. I don't know if you can see him over there. He not here now. He couldn't be on the show tonight, but he's over there. There go Hev right there. There go Hev in the background. That was last week's show. All right, I'm gonna leave. Let's leave a little bit of Hev. Let's leave a little bit of Hev on the screen. All right, we're gonna leave that Hev right there. All right. But okay, thank you, bad girl. So yeah, at what age did you experience heartbreak? And you know, like when I was young, I used to think like heartbreak was a joke. You know, I thought it wasn't real until I got deeply involved with someone and I actually felt heartbreak. You know, it really hit me. Like I felt like it was a pain, like literally a pain in my chest. Like, and I didn't think it was real. But nah, I think I want to go right there. I didn't think it was real, but actually that heartbreak is real, y'all. Nah, we're gonna go right there and we're gonna turn it down one. All right, we good right there. That heartbreak is real. You know, I remember the first time I was interested in a young lady, and yo, she ain't like me at all. Yo, she ain't like me at all. It was like two. One, I mean, me and her still friends on Facebook. I don't want her to come across Facebook and see this. But we're just gonna call her we're gonna call her Rhea. We're gonna call her Rhea. I ain't gonna say her real name, but I love me some. I'm gonna say RM. Those are her initials. I love me some RM when I was in elementary school, and she liked somebody else. And I remember telling my mother how much I loved her, and now let me not say love, how much of a crush I had on her, and boy, I wish she could be my girlfriend. And she just was never interested in me, and that just broke my little heart. That was puppy love, you know, and we all go through those puppy love stages. You know, we go through the puppy love and And then as we get older, you start to at what age did you start? Like for me, I started to really get into like being interested in women or girls like around honestly, I would say maybe around like 12, 13, where I started to look at girls in a different way. Before it was like girls just got on my nerves. They was just in the way. I just wanted to play in the park, get out the way. I had a couple of friends like she was on the show with me, Rochelle. She was she was like a good friend of mine, but she was more like a tomboy, so she could hang with the fellas. But for the most part, it was like I wasn't really interested in girls like being oh, hold on, let me turn the sound effects on my phone off. Hold on, y'all. I wasn't really interested in girls too strongly when I was young. But when I hit about 12, 13, that's when it started to come around to me. That's when it started to come around. I didn't feel like I wanted to be outside in my, I don't know if y'all remember, but when I was young, you used to have your play clothes. You couldn't go outside in your school clothes. Bad girl said, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Your heart literally aches and your chest feels so heavy. It's a real feeling, y'all. Yeah, it's a real feeling. It is. Heartbreak is a real feeling. At what age did you everybody that's watching, at what age did you realize heartbreak was a real feeling? And if you haven't experienced it, God bless you. I'm so happy that you haven't experienced it. But at what age did you realize that heartbreak was a real feeling? All right. Exactly. You could not go outside in your school clothes. I must be a different breed. Jasmine, why you say that? You never felt heartbreak before? Girl, I know you ain't gonna sit here and tell me you ain't never felt no heartbreak before because everybody done felt some type of heartbreak. And you said I must be a different bread. For me, it was 17. That's when you found out that heartbreak was a real feeling. Jasmine said, "Yo, I must be a different bread." I'm just playing with you, girl. I know what you meant, girl. At 17? So who broke your heart at 17, Jasmine? Who broke your heart? I'm just joking. You ain't have to write it again. I'm just messing with you, girl. Who broke your heart at 17? For me, it was around that same age. 17, 18. When it got past the puppy love stage and it got for real for me. At that point, when it got real, it was like, yo, this ain't no joke out here. You can't be playing with people's feelings, Toby. I had to think to myself, like, all right, how many people have I made feel this way? How many people how many, who liked me and I didn't pay them no attention, you know, because it came back on me tenfold. It was not a joke. I ain't gonna play. I ain't even gonna hold you. Okay, let's see. Laura said her first heartbreak. My heartbreak was at 18. My first boyfriend messed around while I was in basic training. Yeah. How long did it take for you before you was able to get over that? Laura, how long did it take before you was able to get over that heartbreak at 18? What up, Cotton Candy Nikki? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. All right, it's your boy Lil Fat Mushy Toe representing the WCIS streaming live. All right. I think I was 21 or 22. The first heartbreak. Yeah, my first heartbreak was about 18, 19. And it was bad, y'all. It was bad. May she rest in peace. I loved me some Cheryl. Ashley Larry's in the building. What up, Ashley Larry? The fourth hostman. What's going on, bro? How you feeling? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We talking about when did you realize heartbreak was a real feeling? At what age did you experience heartbreak for the first time? All right. We talking about. Hold on. Let me bring the banner up. We're talking about worst breakups and petty moments. Well, we started off talking about heartbreak because usually when you break up with somebody, somebody done got their feelings hurt, somebody done did something wrong. What are some of the petty reasons you've broken up with people? You know, that's what we getting into tonight. All right, I'm gonna be on till 10 o'clock. So if anybody want to jump on to the stream with me, feel free. Don't be afraid. Waterbed Hev, he started his new job yesterday, so he had to buckle down and do some homework. So he won't be on the show tonight. But your boy Little Fat Mushy Tove will holding it down. All right. How you feeling, Ashley Larry? How was everybody's weekend? I forgot to ask y'all how was everybody's weekend. Hopefully everybody's weekend was doing good. But yeah, Cheryl was my first love, and may she rest in peace, first of all. But yeah, she was my first love, and that was my first heartbreak. My heart was broken. Cheryl was just a little bit too fast for me, and my little heart couldn't keep up. But you put two Scorpios together, that's a lot of passion. Heartbreak, 17 years old. Wasn't a breakup, it was circumstantial. What was the circumstance, Ashley Larry? What happened, bro? Did y'all have to go y'all separate ways for some reason? I had to move away. I kind of figured that's what it was. Hold on, let me fix the. Hold on a second, y'all. All right. Trying to fix the IG. All right. Ashley Larry said she had to move away. Did you feel that pain in your chest, bro? Like, did you feel like the heartbreak for real, for real? Cause when my heartbreak hit, it was with a young lady by the name of Cheryl, and I went to go see her. I'm gonna tell the story. May she rest in peace, but this is the truth. I ain't gonna tell no lies on nobody. Yo, I went to see her, and it was me and Jamie, my best friend Jamie, who passed away. May he rest in peace also. And we went to go see her, and Jamie had a little crush on a young lady that was living with Cheryl. So I was trying to hook Jamie up with her friend, and I was going to see her. So I was there. We was all there chilling, watching TV, drinking soda and stuff, having a good time. And then Cheryl pulled me to the side. I moved away 1,400 miles. What did? Uh-oh. And if I ever fall. What up, Shy T is in the building. What up, Shy T? Welcome to the stream. We talking about worst breakups, petty moments. We talking about first heartbreaks. We talking about all of those. Everything that encompasses heartbreak, breakups, all of that. All right, that's what we talking about. So, yeah. So Cheryl pulled me to the side and was like, Tovey, you gotta leave. Now, mind you, Jamie is there with me, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I gotta leave. This was my girlfriend, y'all. At the well, so I thought. She said, Tovey, you gotta leave. I said, why I gotta leave? She was like, cause I got something to do. I'm like, come on now. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm young. I may be young, but I'm ready. I may be young, but I'm ready. I ain't crazy. I was like, well, I'm not leaving. She was like, nah, Tove, you gotta leave for real. And I'm like, I gotta leave for what? She's like, cause I got company coming over. Yo, when I tell you that broke my heart, I'm telling you that broke my heart into a million pieces. It really did. Cause I'm like, you invited me over here. You supposed to be my girl. You invited me over. Some other guy is coming over, and you're gonna tell me I have to leave? Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, I am sharing with you my first real heartbreak. And then my best friend was standing right there. my best friend Jamie was older than me, but when it came to girls, he kind of like looked up to me because I was a little bit more popular with the girls than he was, you know? And he's seen how hurt I was. He's seen how devastated I was. And he was like, "Yo, Tove, come on, bro, let's go." But he was having a good time with the other young lady that was, that I brought him there to see. So I was like, "Nah, Jamie, you stay, bro. I'ma go ahead and leave." He was like, "Nah, Tove, Imma leave with you." I said, "Nah, nah, you having a good time, bro?" He was like, "Nah, but I ain't gonna stay here." He was like, "I ain't gonna stay here and you not here." Like, and Jamie was a real one for that. Jamie was a real one for that because he was having a good, I don't want wait a minute, I don't want to make it come across wrong, but he was enjoying himself with the other young lady that that was there. And I could see that, everything was going fine between him and her. And I didn't want to mess it up for her, but she was like, "Yeah, Toby, you gotta go." And then it got to the point where she was like, "Yeah, you really gotta go, like right now." Now, as I got older, I understood why she did it because the person that was coming to her, coming to our house to see her, she was a little bit more intricately involved with him than I thought. And it might have caused me harm at that age. It might have caused me some harm to stay there. Like I don't think I wasn't ready for that kind of fight, you know? I was 16, 17. The person that was coming to see her maybe was 27, 28. So yeah, I don't know if the odds would have been in my favor right there, but boy, oh boy, that broke my heart into a million pieces. That was my first heartbreak, for real. That hurt me to my core. I couldn't believe that she did that to me. I mean, we was able to reconcile. We got over it. You young. I mean, I couldn't hold. I'm not the type of person to hold a grudge anyway. But I didn't hold any grudge against her. But I definitely things between me and her definitely changed from that moment going forward. And it taught me a very valuable lesson, because it's been plenty of times where the shoe has been on the other foot. There's been plenty of times the shoe has been on the other foot where, I've hurt people's feelings and I've been the heartbreaker, whether it was purposely or unintentional. I've been on the other side of that coin. So it was like God giving me a little wake up call at a very young age to tell me, like, Toby, you got to take people's feelings seriously because you have a heart too and you have feelings too, you know? And you don't play around with people's feelings the same way you don't want someone to play around with yours. So that definitely was my first heartbreak. I've had a couple afterwards, but that definitely was the first and actually the worst because it taught me a good lesson. So anytime after that, I was a little bit more prepared because I always think about karma. I always think about, what who have I done something to and why is this coming back to me in this way? So you have to always think, what have you done to put yourself in this position for this karma to come back to you? I've had a lot of good karma come back to me also, but and I love to take time to acknowledge the good karma. But in this instance, that karma, I don't know if it was karma coming back to me that time. I just think that she was just spreading herself a little bit too thin. And I think that she really cared about me, but she didn't know how to. She was young also, She was young also. And she was just doing what she needed to do to try to survive, I guess. May she rest in peace. We was able to reconcile, and we were able to, we were still in a relationship after that, but it was never the same for me. That just destroyed everything for me. But everybody that's watching, welcome to the stream. It's your boy Little Fat Mushy Toe representing the WCIS. We can't inspire someone OPP, only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Head, shout out to Uncle DV, and shout out to the community that's all about unity. All right. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna repost the link in the comment section. Anybody want to jump into the stream, tell their story? You know, if you got a sob story to tell, like I just told my sob story. I told my sob story. My little and I'm only broken heart. Yo, I went home that day and I listened to Babyface. I was so sad. I was just as sad as can be, y'all. I was listening to Babyface Tender Lover, that album. If any of y'all real R&B heads, y'all know Babyface Tender Lover album has nothing but straight hits, y'all. It's nothing but straight love song hits. And that was my therapy. That Babyface album was definitely my therapy. And that album helped me get through that. But yeah, that was my first real heartbreak. And that's when I realized that, you know, that heartbreak is a real feeling. You could feel it. I thought it was a myth, like the Bigfoot, like the Yeti, like the Sasquatch. No, getting your heart broke is real. I felt it in my chest. It was heavy. My chest was heavy, you know? So you got to be careful how you treat people, especially as we get older, you know? Like, there's a lot of people walking around very damaged because of the things that they went through as children, things they went through as teenagers, and they haven't been healed. They haven't gotten over it. They haven't been able to sort a lot of those things out. And now they're jumping into relationships as adults, and those same heals, those same wounds that needed to be healed are still, you know, tearing at them and eating at them and causing them some type of emotional trauma, you know. And you have to take time to get to know someone to recognize these things early on. And then you determine and figure out, do you want to take on that type of burden, or, you know, is that just a little bit too much for you? All right. So Shy, at what age did you realize heartbreak was real? When did you feel it in your chest for the first time? And what's the most petty reason? All right, the next question for everybody is, what's the most petty reason you broke up with somebody? Just a petty reason that you broke up with someone. All right. All the answers will be placed onto the screen. I'll read them out loud. Petty reason I broke up with somebody. Let me think about this. What was a petty reason why you broke up with somebody? Lack of ambition? Nah, Laura Guitar. I don't know if that's a petty reason. I don't know if that's petty or not, Laura. That's a good reason to break up with somebody. Well, it depends on how old was this person. How old was the person that you broke up with because of lack of ambition? But I don't know. I think that's a pretty good. I think that everybody in the chat, y'all think that's a good reason to break up with somebody? Is that good reason, or a petty reason why you broke up with somebody, or vice versa, a petty reason why somebody broke up with you? You know, y'all can answer it however y'all want. All right, we got to make sure. Mike, you ready, bro? You in the building, bro? You can hear me loud and clear. Everything is good. Give me the thumbs up. All right, we got the thumbs up from my man Mike. My man Mike got a knock on the door. All right. We're going to bring my man Mike used those big words like T.I., y'all. He be using them big T.I. words, y'all. I love my man Mike, though. All right, we bringing Mike to the stage. What up, Mike? What's going on, bro?
Can't complain. Life is good. I see you started a little early today, huh?
Yeah, bro. I got off. I was home early today, so I said, you know what? Let's get it started early. You know, maybe the show can run a little bit later than usual and get it started earlier and get into a good conversation, bro. So
I did see the title. Y'all talking about breakups today, correct?
Yeah, we're talking about breakups, petty reasons why people have broken up with you. You've broken up with people. The first time you've realized that heartbreak was real, did you feel it in your chest? What happened? Were you the one being heartbroken? Were you the person who was breaking somebody's heart? And what do we learn from that? You know, because, you know, all right, it's just me. This is the first time it's just really been me and you, bro. So, you know, when you get your heart broken or when you break someone else's heart, sometimes we might just brush it off as they'll get over it, you know, because I think a lot of times we determine how the other person should feel compared to how we would take it. If you understand what I'm saying, like it's not a big deal to me, so it shouldn't be a big deal to you. And that's a terrible way of looking at it. Because just because something is not a big deal to you, especially as men, because we're usually not as emotional as women, we can take heartbreak a little bit better. We might be sad for a day or two and then we back out on the prowl again. But it doesn't tend to be that, especially back in, you know, go back 10, 20 years ago. Maybe now women have kind of like progressed where they like jump right back out on the prowl again. But back in the day, there would be a little bit of a period where they had to, you know, pull themselves together. So first question is, when did you realize heartbreak was real? When the first time you felt heartbreak, bro?
Well, I unfortunately have never gotten the opportunity to feel heartbreak, but I realized that it was not my job to be the captain of someone else's ship in reference to how they should feel after a breakup. When a couple of young ladies caught me at McDonald's, and one had a foot between my legs, she's ready to kick me in the nuts, and the other one had a knife, and they had their homegirls, and
Hold on, wait. Hold on, Mike. Your nuts was in danger, and you had a knife pulled on you simultaneously?
Yeah. I'm not gonna name her because she's a doctor now.
Yeah, but, don't do that, bro. You're gonna bring her down to her knees, everything.
And the other one is a lawyer now, so you know, I don't want to get sued. But that being said, yeah, man, I mean, I must have been like in 9th grade, 8th grade, something like that. And it wasn't like we weren't making love or having intercourse, but it was just they felt as though they had been done wrong, and they had been done wrong, and I was wrong for what I did. But it let me know, hey, people care. It's just because we are young kids and we're not being that sexual does not mean that people are not invested in these relationships. That was my first wake-up call. How serious? Because I thought they were just gonna be like, I hate you, and like, you know, keep calling my house, and my mom would pick up.
And eventually just fade away.
You got it. Original ghosting, I guess.
Right, and in some cases that does happen, but then in a lot of cases it's quite the opposite. You know, in a lot of cases it can turn very serious. And there's a lot of people dead and in jail over the same, you know, there's a lot of people dead and in jail over these situations, you know.
Some people have deleted themselves over situations of this nature, you know.
Exactly. And that's why I thought it was a great topic for everyone to talk about and just listen to people talk about, because I feel like a lot of time, I mean, I feel like now, see, it's hard for me to speak in present tense because I think everybody now kind of walks around as if they don't care.
It's the cool thing to do, you know.
Right.
Because nobody wants to publicly show that they got their feelings hurt. Like, you know, if somebody puts it on camera, oh, she's a cheating, horrible person. At the heart of you, somewhere in your ego of your manhood, you say, that's what you want to show? You want to show everybody you getting cheated on? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I remember one time I wrote on Facebook, the best way you could tell someone is bothered is when they say that they're unbothered.
Right? Yeah, they wouldn't have to announce it otherwise, right?
Exactly. So if you announce that you're unbothered, you're really bothered. Something is really bothering you, you know? And it's very, very toxic to be in such turmoil within yourself, but then also try to pretend that you're at peace externally.
Yeah.
Because it automatically puts you in just a natural conflict with your heart, your mind, your feelings, your emotions. And it puts you in conflict with everyone around you because now they don't know how to treat you because you're saying that you're good, but your energy is saying that you're heartbroken, but you acting like you want to get back out and start dating again, but then you in the corner crying in the dark. It's like, what the fuck is going on with you? Like, you know? So to me, I just think it's just better to just be honest and be who you are. You know, I'm not saying as a man you need to be sitting in the corner. It is. It's very.
Yeah,
You're
it
right.
really
You're
is.
right,
It's
Mike.
always the people you look up to, you always hold them on a pedestal, and you don't see them in the most vulnerable moments. Therefore, you don't know how they react in those vulnerable moments. So it's really hard to emulate others, yet try to be yourself.
Right, exactly. That's why I would always tell people to steer away from emulating others. It's okay to draw inspiration. Now, I
100%.
want y'all to understand that it's okay to draw inspiration from celebrities, actors, athletes. It's good to draw inspiration from your mother, your father, whoever it may be, your best friend. It's okay to draw inspiration. But I think it is very dangerous when you start to idolize or try to emulate someone. Because, like Mike said, you don't know what's going on in their private time behind closed doors. You don't know what they're dealing with. And you're trying to mimic what they're doing. But you're only trying to mimic the good, but you're not understanding the despair that they may be dealing with behind closed doors. And then you wondering why you're not achieving the same thing that they're achieving, or why you're failing at it.
I would say it's very similar to for the nerds out there, trying to have a reflection without refracted light. So in other words, trying to be something but without balance, right? You have to have the full picture. You have to have all the balance. Otherwise, you are the person who doesn't exist. Because that person doesn't exist. The person who's just the good, you know what I mean? Like I think Jay-Z's the coolest, right? You know,
Right.
term businessman. But we forget back in like 2000, he had a kid that and paid off the lady who was in the news and everything. Y'all remember that?
Right. And we also we also forget that he was I must say, I don't want to throw no allegations at that man, but he was involved with Foxy Brown, and she might have been a little bit too young for him.
He was much too young. You know, I remember when that was the thing, though. Like we talk about heartbreak. I remember asked a young lady, and sometime off camera, I can even tell you who it is, but because you know, but I like this young lady so much, and I must have been maybe 15, and she lived on the block, and she was dating like a 32-year-old dude. She was only a year older than me. I can't compete with a 32-year-old drunk dealer with a car. You know what I mean? Good Lord. Good Lord. Shoot, it's hard out here.
It was hard. It was hard. Yeah. And see, that's like, those are the things that, like you said, those things about Jay-Z. Like we look at the superstar, we look at the businessman, but a lot of things that helped him get to that point don't get put to the. They don't. You may have heard about it, but it doesn't get pushed to the forefront. You know, because he plays by the rules. Yeah. You know, he doesn't ruffle any feathers, and that's why he's been able to stay at the top for so long. But I'll give you another example. We all knew that everybody over the last 4 or 5 years said, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to cancel R. Kelly. But we all knew that R. Kelly was messing around with Aaliyah 25, right? 20. We all knew that 20 years ago, 20, however long ago it was.
Ain't no questions, you know?
So then why didn't we cancel him then?
Right. Wasn't enough social media.
But everybody knew.
Yeah, everybody knew.
Everybody knew that something was going on between him and this little girl.
Yep.
But he didn't get canceled. He actually got more popular.
Yeah, remember, I don't know if you remember, there was an episode of the Boondocks that talked about that.
The Pied Piper.
We got to dance. Yeah,
yes, the Pied Piper, absolutely. And he actually started to play into the persona, because actually the Pied Piper, the fictional character, I don't know exactly if it was based off of fiction or a real character, but I know the fictional character would play music and lead the little kids with him out of the city and lead them into like a forest or the woods, and heaven knows what would happen to them when the Pied Piper would come through the town. So he even played into it, and nobody said a word about it, you know? So that just lets you know that when you're cool, when you're popular, you can get away with just about anything. But when you start to ruffle them feathers, those tables can quickly turn on you, and they can take everything away from you, as you can see, what they did to R. Kelly, as if he's the only, person who ever engaged in something like that.
Yeah.
There's a long list of
Yeah, I
celebrities.
was about to say, yeah, if we get started listening, we'll be here all night.
Yes, exactly. But so now let's flip the question. All right. So when was the first time you actually felt as if you broke someone's heart?
Okay, so the situation I told you about with the two young ladies,
That was the first time?
I felt that way. But I'll tell you, the first time I ever, and I was pretty old. I guess I might have been 05 maybe. So yeah, I was in like maybe my lower mid 20s, and I went to a club, and I guess maybe this falls more in the petty area.
Okay.
At the club, right? And I seen this fine young lady, and I said, okay, I brought my drink over. We talked a little bit, and we seemed to get along swimmingly. And we started making out on the couch and everything, and we going at it broad. People drinking, and but in front of everybody, we don't care. And we just have this amazing time. We have this amazing connection. I'm like, oh wow, this connection is so deep. And then we take a quick break, come up for some air, and we're like, yo, why don't we let's go get another drink. Oh yeah, heck yeah, let's go get another drink. We stand up, go get the drink, and she looks down at me because I'm 5'8" 3/4. She must have been 6 foot, and she was wearing like 3-inch heels, so she was standing probably like 6'3". And she looked down at me after making out with me for like a half an hour. She looked down at me and she goes, "You must be at least this tall to ride this ride," and walked off. And that I don't know if it broke my heart, but it definitely broke my ego. Yeah.
Brother Mike, I am in the same boat with you. I'm 5'8" 3/4 also, so I understand your pain, bro.
Heck yeah.
I understand your pain. I definitely. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel comfortable dating women taller than you?
I used to date the center for the Phoenix Mercury.
Okay, how tall was she?
6'8".
6'8". Hold up, bro. She was a foot taller than you, and you felt you was cool with that?
Perfectly comfortable. I met her at the mall at a Foot Locker. She was with her mom, and her mom says, she was a Caucasian young lady, and color don't matter to me. Just date who you like. Right. And her mom said, "Oh my God, that's so cute. Usually the guys are scared of you." She's a beautiful young lady. She's just very tall.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never been comfortable with dating. Maybe like my height, maybe a little bit taller than me, but I couldn't do it. I don't feel comfortable with it, bro.
Why do you think that you don't feel comfortable? Do you think that
I'm just not attracted to it?
So
it's an attraction thing. I'm just not attracted to. I'm not attracted to a woman who's physically bigger than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't dig it, but you are definitely entitled to the way you feel.
I don't like a
bodybuilder. She was diesel. She was just so strong. Like
I don't want my woman strong. I want her nice and soft. I don't want to feel no muscles, bro.
Well, I gotta say something. I do think that a lot of that stems from the patriarchy that we are raised in, because we are taught that you are supposed to be domineering over everything, whether it's your relationship, your family, whatever. And I think that naturally because my wife is dumb strong. My wife's Nigerian, she's Yoruba, she's mad strong. She works out with weights. She skips rope like a pro boxer. Like my wife's with it, right? And I like that. I always feel like if you really care about someone, you want them to be strong enough to have a healthy existence without you. I love you so much that I wouldn't want to give you up, but if I had to, I'd want to make sure you're good on your own, and that's why I like strong women.
Nah, I feel you. And Ashley Larry said, "Mike, I was about to say, bro, tell me you didn't date Brittany." Hold up. Ain't Brittany Griner not into dudes?
I know, right? I was thinking that. I don't know for sure, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Brittany Griner would smack the heck out of me.
Bad Girl Sniper said, "I don't think I could date a guy shorter since I'm 5'2". Yeah, like a guy that's 5 feet tall. And ladies, y'all got to understand. I want to say something to the ladies. It is tough for a guy that's 5', 5'1", 5'2", 5'3". That's a tough life for him living out there, because women are. Look at Mike. Mike is 5. You know what? Hold on. Let's ask. Hey Google, what's average height for men in America?
About 5 feet 9 inches tall.
Okay, so. Okay, now listen.
Average height for men in the United States. That's about 5 feet 9 inches tall.
Okay, now listen to what Mike he just told us a great story. Me and Mike are about average height for men in America. And he said a woman looked down on him for a half an hour and said, you got to be this tall to ride this ride. And he's average height. So imagine a man who's 5'2", 5'3". They got it bad out here, y'all. So, I mean, like the same way, I will say this, the same way that women don't like men criticizing their weight, take it easy on men with their height, because men are very, very sensitive about their height. Y'all may not believe it, but trust me, as a man, I know that men are very sensitive about their height. So please.
Actually, Larry crazy. He said she was white, I relaxed a little bit. You have to express that with more words, my brother. That just you just boggled my mind, man. What does that mean?
What up, Jersey Devils in the building? What up, Jersey Devils? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right. So Bad Girl, what's the shortest man you feel like you could date? Yeah, I can't do. Hold on. Yeah, I can't do someone that's 5'1" to 5'5". Dang, I was going to shoot my shot with Tove, but he don't like taller women. Jersey Devil, I done seen you eye to eye. You ain't taller than me. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, woman. You ain't taller than me, are you? Or have I shrank? I know I'm getting older, but girl, I don't think I'm shrinking out here. I don't want to start shrinking in the wrong places. So ladies, what's the shortest you could date? All right. And also we asking everybody, what are some of the petty reasons you broke up with somebody? What's the worst heartbreak you felt? That's what me and Mike was talking about originally. And we kind of got into celebrity and a couple of other things, but that's what we're talking about tonight. Jersey Devils in the building. Like I said last time, we're all the same height laying down. So like I was saying, ladies, the same way, men tend to be a little considerate when it comes to a woman's weight. It's kind of insulting. A lot of women take it as an insult if you ask them how much do they weigh. Be a little bit kinder when it comes to men's height too, because men are very sensitive about that. Right? So just keep that in mind, because that doesn't seem to even cross a woman's mind. A woman will berate a man because of his height. I've been berated because of my height, and Google just told me that me and Mike are both average height. I'm the average height in America, and I've been berated. Let's see what Bad Girl had to say. As long as I could wear a 4-inch heel and not be taller than him, I'm good. All right.
You gotta be over 5'6", huh?
So as long as he's over 5'6", 5'8", you good. So yeah, you good with a average size man. All right. So Jersey, Bad Girl, who else? And Shati, give me some petty reasons why you've broken up with somebody. All right. That was a question that I was asking Mike, when did he realize heartbreak was real? He said, he gave us an example. He was at McDonald's and his his life and his nuts was in peril. All right. But yeah, so also okay, so Mike,
I'm curious about, actually, if you don't mind, I want to ask you a question, okay?
All right, sure.
So I was thinking about this as you asked it, and I was thinking about the fact that, because you've always been like a a good guy to my eyes. You know, I don't know what else you was doing, but you've always been like a good guy. You seem
No,
very
that's accurate. That's very accurate.
all right. So when you broke somebody else's heart, how did that affect you?
Bro, when I broke someone else's heart, it affected me on different levels because one, it made me have to look at myself for who I really was. Because sometimes you paint a picture of yourself and that's the picture that you want everyone to see. So no matter what you try to maintain that picture for everyone, you know. It's all right. You try to make sure. So it was like when I broke someone else's heart, it made me have to realize that one, let's take a look in the mirror, Tovi, and realize that you're not as angelic as you are portraying yourself to be. So stop being fake and phony and stop being a liar. Be a real man. Be a real man and be honest with yourself first. And then once you're able to start being honest with yourself, then you'll be able to start being honest with the people around you. And then you will really be a good guy. Because honesty is always the good thing to portray. I mean, to be, not just to portray it. But honesty is always the best thing to actually live an honest life. Be an honest man. Make sure that your words are honest, you know? So when I broke someone else's heart, I was trying to make it seem like it wasn't my fault. It was their fault. Because I didn't want to see myself for who I really was. Because I had painted myself into a corner as this good guy. And I can't be the good guy, but also breaking hearts, you know? So I had to come to realization that, okay, Tovi, you're not as good as you out here, you live in a lie. You know, I had to realize that in a lot of instances, I was living a lie. Not when it came to using drugs or drinking or smoking or being in a gang. No, I wasn't living a lie. I'm very innocent and I'm very good in that way. But when it came to dealing with women, I was a fucking liar, bro. Excuse my language, but I was a liar. I was lying to myself. I would lie to myself. So then in return, I would feel comfortable lying to the young lady.
So with that being said, right, life is always a timeline. Life for us, and you know, people say life is circular, and it can be in some ways, but for the most part, it's linear. It's just one straight line, right? You get older, you die. At what age was it that you had this self-audit where you were able to say, hey, I'm not who I thought I was? I'm setting you up for something, so roll with it just a little bit.
All right. At what age? It was probably right around the time when B passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when B passed away,
make things so much more potent. Like you start self-reflecting because we all think about our mortality.
You know why, bro? Because I know that me doing the things that I was doing was not the man that she raised me to be. Yeah. So I had to and then also at that time I had to grow up because at that point I had to start taking care of Eric.
Yep.
I had to start paying rent. I had to start paying bills, and I wasn't prepared for none of it, to be honest with you. And it's good for me to say this to you because you was there.
I was there.
You knew us when we was going through it, you know?
Yeah.
So I wasn't prepared for any of that. So if you're going to try to grow up and you're going to try to become a man, then you got to tackle your biggest demons first. And I've always been able to say no to everything except women. I've been able to dodge and get away from it. Nothing else has sunk its teeth into me except for women. So that was my biggest demon that I had to battle. So that was the first thing I had. You know what, Tovi? You got to stop treating people the way you treating women. Let me not say people. You need to stop treating women the way you've been treating them because nothing good is going to come to you if you keep doing that. You're being selfish. You're not being who you was raised to be. You're not being a good man. You're not being a gentleman. You're not being an honest man. And God is going to continue to punish you if you keep treating other people like that, especially because you're very sensitive. So you being sensitive, you should know better than to do things that would hurt other people's feelings because you're a sensitive person yourself. So once B passed away, I had to do that self-audit. And then from that point, that was the foundation that I worked with. And I've been building on it ever since. I mean, at 46 years old, Lord knows I'm not perfect, but I feel like I'm as close to as honest man as I'm gonna get, because I'm very honest. I don't lie about, if I'm feeling a certain way, I'll say it. If I'm not, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not lying to appease anyone. And I've learned to love myself, and I feel comfortable with who I am. So it was no reason for me to continue to live that facade. So right
Now,
after B passed away, that was the foundation. And
now
I've
I
been
wait for the visual for anyone listening to the stream, right? For the visual, just so we're painting a very meticulous picture so they can see every color in it. How old would you say you were then? Because I know
when B passed away, I was 21, 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
22. Now, how old would you say you were when you realized that you genuinely wanted to find a good relationship to be in? You wanted a relation. You didn't want just sex. You wanted a relationship.
It had to be at least when I was getting around to about 30, 32.
32. So
Yeah.
this is the question.
All right.
Between 22 and 32, did you ever walk up to a woman and say, "Hey, I don't want a relationship. I just want to be intimate with you romantically"? Or
not in those exact words, but yeah. In my own way, I definitely did. Yes, in my own way. It's like, well, Tovi, I would always duck and dodge that commitment. And I just wanted to be. And you know what else? Let me rewind a little bit. Also, it also was because I had to deal with some things pertaining to my mother. I wanted the women in my life, to fill a void within me that they didn't have any business trying to fill that void, and that was because I lacked that lack of relationship that I didn't have with my mother.
Understood.
And I definitely had to go back and examine that before I could move forward. So it was like a double. I was dealing with my own demons, and then I was dealing with the demon that my mother put on me from her not being around, And I was asking women to fill that void, which wasn't right at all. But hold on, I'm gonna continue. But let me read Jersey. I broke up with someone because everyone I've ever met with this particular name was. Now that's petty, y'all. I gave it a shot. He turned out to be crazy. All right, let's bring him a shot.
I asked what the name was.
Yeah, Jersey. What was the name? Shanti said I wouldn't say it was breaking up, but we were in the talking stage, and he always spoke slang, so I ghosted and blocked him within a month of getting to know him. The way he was speaking, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, depends on if he's speaking to you like, yo, what up, my nigga, and all that. I could understand a woman being turned off from that. You could have handled it a little bit more maturely, but hey, we all live and we learn. Let me see. That's not petty, Sha. That was keeping it 100 with your preference. Okay, let's see what Sha. Ashley, I could have told him how. Oh, okay. All right. See, that's a true Scorpio right there. I respect that comment right there, Sha. You realize that you could have handled it better. Jersey said that was a few years ago. I can't say. Even if I whisper his name, it pops up on Snap. He pops up on Snapchat. Yeah, he like candy. He like Candyman, Jersey. All right. So wait a minute. I wanted to continue with the timeline that you was going along with me, Mike. All right. So yeah. So you asked me between that time, between 22 and 32, was I able to tell a woman
right there?
Right. At that point, I was able
for you because you had this realization that you need to be as honest as possible to be a good man and be who you want to be and make sure you're communicating that to others. Right. But you're not at the stage yet where you're like, I just want to have a real relationship, be in love. You still want to be very physical, but how are you portraying that? Because as we know, when you want to, like most gentlemen, you can speak over people's heads so that you're saying what you want to say, but you're not really saying it directly. So you kind of said it, but you didn't. You know what I mean?
Right. You saying it vaguely so you could protect yourself down the road. So you can be like, nah, I never said that. Trust me, bro. I was the king of that. I never said that. Nope. That is not what I said. But you know, as you get older, trust me, as you get older, and then I think I remember you. I don't know if you. I remember you text me a message. I don't know if you ran into. I know I ran into you at a mall one time. I ran into you and your wife, and I don't know if I was with my girlfriend at the time because I remember you was like, "Tovi, you have an African girlfriend."
You ain't running into me, Negro.
Yeah, I did. I seen you and your wife at the mall, bro.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah, I seen your wife in person. Yes, Mike, I seen you and your wife. I think it was you, your wife, and I don't know if you had a child with you, but I seen you and your wife. I ran into you at a clothing. It was at a store, bro. It was in a mall or a clothing store. You don't remember this, Mike? I seen your wife before. You introduced me to her, bro. I said, Mike, that's your wife. You was like, yeah. I said, yo, I'm telling you, I remember, bro.
I don't know if I'm dimensioning out because I remember you was dating a young lady who was Igbo, and
exactly.
Right. But it came out of left field. I could pull. Don't make me pull up the receipts, okay? All right? I don't remember because what mall would it have been in? We live in Virginia.
I don't know, but I saw you, bro. I definitely wasn't in Virginia. I wasn't in Virginia.
And what mall would it be? There's only one mall. There's Manhattan Mall, and there's the out by Left Rack City. They got a little mall out there.
Bro, I seen you in a clothing store, and you was with your wife, bro. I'm telling you. I've seen your wife, and I seen you with your wife, bro. I'm telling you.
Whatever. Moving
but
forward.
Either way, around that time when I was dating her, when you was like you're dating an African woman,
with a Nigerian chick, she Igbo, yeah.
Right. That's when I started to look at, okay, I'm ready for a real relationship, because that's when I finally started to see, okay, I could feel comfortable settling down with someone and being with this one person. Obviously, it didn't work out between me and her, but I will give her credit that she helped me see it, and all of us need to see, like, I think a lot of times people like, I want to get married. Like people say, hey, I want to get married, but they skip over the point of finding the right person to get married to. A lot of people have gotten married, but they've gotten married to the wrong person. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people skip over I need to find the right person to get married to and then get married.
And what's after the marriage?
Like exactly. And then
life, have you visualized being married, or it's just you like the idea of a storybook wedding,
Right. Jersey said Mike giving the shut up code Tove. Nah. First of all, I know Mike wouldn't have been out here when it was me. All right, put it like this. Ask your wife. Let her watch this show and then ask her, does she remember seeing me?
Oh, I don't remember nobody. My man came by the crib in a Busa motorcycle. And my wife goes, who's that? And I'll tell you, 2 months later, she's like, I don't even remember that. I was like, you was outside. He was playing with the motorcycle. But yeah, my wife won't remember nothing. But, you know what? It's funny because I am going to go back in these conversations because I like to know stuff just because I'm petty. Oh, if we're talking about petty, ladies, I would love to hear more petty stuff. I love it when women are doing things that historically only men are known for, because I know we are all equals. We are different.
Right now, but they'll never own up to it. When we used to do the show before, we had a segment of what was some of the worst excuses you ever heard for a woman or ladies for a man not wanting, like, let's say you set up a date. What were some of the worst excuses you've ever heard? Like me and this young lady was supposed to go out. She told me, Tovi, she said, yo, I can't go out. I can't meet up with you tonight because what did she say? She said she had to go dye her hair. Like I got to take the dye out of my hair. I'm like, hold up. It's Friday night at 8:30. We supposed to be meeting up at like 9:30. And you telling me that you can't meet up because you got to go take the dye out of your hair? I said, yo, you got to be effing kidding me, yo. Just be honest with me. Just tell me the truth.
Keep it real.
Yeah, you just didn't want to see me, or you didn't, you had something better to do, So yeah, Mike want to hear from the ladies some of the petty things that y'all have done when it comes to.
Deeper, get pettier. Like, and what's the pettiest thing somebody ever dumped you for? Because I definitely have dumped a young lady for cutting her hair. Super petty.
How much did she cut it?
She went from she was of Hispanic descent, and it went from knee level to Missy misdemeanor with the finger wave.
Nah, bro, that's not petty, bro.
It is somewhat.
Nah, that's drastic. That's
a lot of change, but it's her body.
Was y'all dating? Was y'all dating, or was she your?
We had been dating for 4 years.
Okay, so then she should have spoke that. She should have talked to you about that.
Yeah, that's what. See, that's the thing. The way I am, or was, I should say, my hair was huge. I didn't go through no doorways. I had to go through double doors only because my hair wouldn't fit. You know what I mean?
Right.
She conversed with me about it, and I said, "Well, you're asking what you want me to. Excuse me. You're asking me what to do." And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, just leave it alone. Get a trim if you want to." But her mother had cut her hair. I said, "Your mother's in a different
what up, Big T
situation, you know." And she was trying to be like her mother. And I was like, your mother's in a different situation. She cut her hair, doesn't mean you need to cut your hair. And then she just ignored me and showed up with no hair. So I felt disrespected in that way. I think that had more to do with it than just her cutting her hair. But on the surface, you know, there's always depth to any situation. But on the surface,
right.
That's what it was. That's what it felt like.
Right. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't think that's that petty, because that's a drastic change, especially if you express to her that you didn't want her to do it and she still went and did it anyway. I could kind of understand where you're coming from with that one. A little bit. I can understand where you're coming from 100% with that. Because I think that would bother me too. I ain't gonna hold you. That would bother me too. All right, hold on. Let me go back.
Real quick. I gotta fill up a water thing for my son.
All right, go ahead. Do what you gotta do. Is petty after 4 years? What you mean, Jersey? Is something still petty after 4 years? What you mean? It's petty after 4 years? Nah, I don't know. Because men are visual. So if your man is telling you, yo, I don't really think you should cut all your hair off, respect that man. Respect that man wishes.
Well, I think she has a point though. Jersey, you got a point, but I do want to let you in on something, because that's why I always say perspective and time are important. Those 4 years were between ages 12 and 16. Just to put it in perspective. It's not like I was a grown man in a mature relationship.
Oh, well, then that's different. Nah, bro, you got to start off with that, bro. Nah, bro, you got to start off with that. I'm going to be defending you. At 12 years old, you can't be telling no woman what to do, bro. Yo, I take everything I said back. This ninja said from 12 to 16. All right, I take everything I said back. From 12 to 16, you can't tell nobody what to do. But now, but going back now, if they were both adults or in their teenage years, you know, like, I think that there should be a healthy respect between both parties involved to maintain, you know, a certain look that the other person has grown accustomed to. Like, if you all of a sudden said to your wife, all of a sudden you want to start wearing pitch black contacts and your pupils of your eyes going to look black all the time, she would probably not approve of it. She'd be like, Mike, why are you going to start wearing all black contact lenses to make your pupils look black? Well, you know, it's just a look that I want to go for. And she's saying, babe, I don't think that's going to look demonic to me. I don't want you to look like that. I think as her husband, you should say, all right, babe, I respect it. I'm not going to, you know, like, that's something drastic. Now, look what he said. He said from knee level, hair from the head to the knee, to cut to Missy finger waves.
Yeah.
Nah, that's too drastic. That's drastic, you know? So I think there should be a level of respect that people keep for their partner when it comes to the way that they look, especially if it's something that drastic. All right, let's see what yours is. If that's the only thing, yeah, it's petty. So
I agree with Jersey. I don't defend myself. I throw myself in the fire. You know?
Oh, those ages are petty season. Or growing or cutting fit. Yeah, like if a woman said, "Baby, don't cut your beard." Like let's say James Harden type beard. If a man got a James Harden type beard and that's how the woman met him, I think that he should consult with her before he just cuts it off. That's what I would say. I would say it in both ways. The same way a woman cutting her hair off. If a man was to cut his beard off and that's how she met him, I think he should at least consult with her and let her know, babe, I'm about to cut this beard off and just hear what not to say that he's got to listen to her, but just hear what her opinion is going to be. I think that would be.
I think the problem comes in, especially in relationships, when you ask for someone's input and then you do whatever you want because it feels like you're being ignored as the partner. Like, why are you sitting here having a conversation with me and there's no compromise? You just did what you started with. You know what I mean? Like, that almost feels insensitive to me.
Well, my rebuttal is I was asking to see if you was going to agree. I was asking to see if you would be okay with it. But since you're not, I'll take it in consideration. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to see if you would agree, if you agreed with it or not. It could have been a slight chance that you would say, hey, all right, go ahead, cut the beard off. I don't care. But you are right, though. You are right, because that's opening Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
It's opening Pandora's box. A young lady that I was dealing with, she found out that, okay, I'm going to tell you something petty. A young lady that I was dealing with, she found out that another young lady in my past got a tattoo of my name on her leg. And she jumped up, ran out of the room that we were in, ran into the bathroom and started crying and yelling and screaming. How dare you? How could you have another woman have your tattoo?
Like you control what she puts on.
I said, whoa. So I let her stay in the bathroom and cry. I didn't go follow her. I didn't go, And a lot of people, when I tell that story, like, Toby, that's so cruel. Why would you let her just sit there and cry? I said, because first of all, it was childish. Second of all, it was something that happened before me and her knew each other. And third of all, once you start to feed that beast, then you have to keep that beast fed forever. Once you start, if I would have ran up behind and chased behind her, oh, baby, no, it's not like that. I said, I would have been chasing behind her forever.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
I said, no. I said, there's no way that I could get up and chase behind her because she was acting completely irrational. This didn't make any sense whatsoever. So that means I would have to appease every irrational action and thought that she has going forward. And I'm not going to be happy with that. I'm going to be miserable because now I can't sit and tell you a good, funny story because now I'm going to be worried and now I can't be honest with you because I'm going to be worried if it's rational or if it's irrational. I don't know how you're going to take it. And now I'm going to have to baby you and I'm going to have to coddle you. And we're adults. But almost every woman that I've ever told that story to was like, Toby, that was really cruel of you. You should have went up and I said, well, y'all going to have to think.
Nah.
I said, y'all got to understand, as a man, eventually you got to put your foot down and you have to stand your ground because you're going to get ran all over. You're going to get ran up and down the street if you keep chasing behind. And ultimately, most women are going to find that to be unattractive in the long run.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get
You may find it attractive at the moment.
They don't find it attractive. They just appreciate the attention. It's different. I think there's a difference there. I don't think it's an attraction. I think it's simply, oh, you did what I wanted you to do. Great. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Great. You followed my command. You allowed me to play you like a puppet.
Yeah.
What up, Joanna? What up, Joanna? What's going on? All right, welcome to the stream. Let's see what Jersey said. Then I say, I respect your opinion, but let's try it. And if you don't like it, then we could change it back. Nah, but the scenario that Mike was saying, you can't change that back. He said the hair was down to her knees, and then she went to Missy Misdemeanor Elliott finger waves.
Ain't no coming back from that. That's a lot of weed.
That's gonna take you about 6-7 years to come back from that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then if a man got a James Harden beard and he cuts it off, yeah, it's gonna take him about 3 or 4 years to come back from that. You know. What up, Joanna? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right.
Whoa.
Not the hair. I'm talking about other things. Oh, okay. Joanna, what's one of the pettiest reasons you've ever been broken up with or you broke up with someone for? All right. And at what age did you realize heartbreak was real? Whether you broke someone's heart or whether you had your heart broken. But when did you realize it was real? That's my question. All right. All right. So yeah. Do you feel okay? Like I said, I felt like I would have to chase behind her with that going forward.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think a lot of, and like you said, women are going to find that appeasing, not attractive. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Appeasing is a better word. You're appeasing her, but that's not attractive because she realizes now she's in control.
I just had an epiphany. I realized something. So when two people break up, right, and one person is heartbroken, I think that has to usually do with the fact, especially if it's on the petty line, with one person's interpreting the relationship with lust and the other person's interpreting the relationship with trust. So like they say, only the people closest to us can actually hurt us. Like, if you're dating somebody for, like, for instance, I said the young lady told me I wasn't tall enough to ride this ride. Right. I mean, crush my ego, but I did find somebody else to go home with that night. I didn't have a bad night, right?
Right.
So you rebound easily because you're not close enough to hurt me, right? So I think in the same way, I think that's what happens. And I'm curious, especially because I'm not a female. I'm curious from the female perspective in reference to, have you ever just had lust for someone, and how does that end? Like, is it always an ugly ending? And I mean, there are all or none type of relationships, but usually it doesn't go left. It's usually a clean break because it's always noticed as lust. I remember we were doing we were on a stream before, and Jersey was like, nobody lasts more than 5 minutes because the cat is slapping, knocking them down. So if when a gentleman loses that, right? So you might interpret it as lust. If a gentleman interprets it as trust and thinks that you're really doing something, even if he's clouded by intercourse,
by the kitty cat,
you know what I mean? Then, like, how does that turn out? Because I was thinking about it, like, it is maybe it's a lust trust thing. Like, no one's really hurt if it's lust. So I'm curious. I think
men hate to lose out on once a man. I think men can go two ways with it. I think when a man finally obtains what he lusts after, either he looks at it as a possession, or looks at it as a building block. So let's say, here's a perfect example. Safari. He was dating. Minaj, yes. Okay. Safari was dating Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah.
So now he probably was looking at her like, okay, she's unobtainable for me. But once he was able to obtain her, now she's like a trophy to him. Now she's the building block that he can build on going forward to other women. Because he's already has the foundation of Nicki Minaj to build on top of. So I'm saying, like, he lusted after her. He could either become very possessive of her, mm-hmm, and feel like, now that I got her, I don't want nobody else to ever look at her because this is my possession. Or he can look at it as, she's my foundation that now I can build on. I can get back out on the court, and now I can't go lower than her. Every woman's going to feel like, okay, every woman that I have going forward is gonna compare herself to Nicki Minaj. So now she's my building block. She's my foundation that I build on top of. I think men look at lust in that way. Like either they get what they lust and they like, wow, I got it. I don't want anybody else to get it. It's my possession now. Or they look at it as, okay, I got it. Now I can get whatever I want because of I've already had her. And I don't think men look at love that way, but I think a lot of men look at lust that way, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. I think that it's almost as though that women, especially if you're being shallow and you're just thinking about how women look, it's seen as a building block of accomplishment. Oh, who's that coming in?
Hold up, Jersey Devil's jumping into the room. All right, Jersey Devil's coming in the room. What up, Jersey? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. If you know what I mean. What you know what I mean?
Everybody.
What's going on, Jersey? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Feeling great. Feeling great. How are you feeling?
You know, another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. That's right.
Shoot.
Spend time in HAWA.
Other than it's windy and it's rainy.
All right, we're gonna let you jump in, Jersey, but I want Mike to finish his point. Go ahead, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. So I might have lost track of my thought process, so I'm gonna look intelligent and just stare at the camera.
No. We were talking about the safari scenario that I was talking about.
Thank you. Because I lost my track of thought. So I think oftentimes men look at it as an ego booster, and I tell my wife this story all the time and it kind of fits exactly what we're saying here. I did not become a gentleman who enjoyed dating multiple women until the young lady who pulled the knife on me at the McDonald's, who I was also with for 4 years. When I was 12, she called me up. She got my number at school, and she called me up and she said, "You should cheat on your girlfriend." I was dating another young lady. She said, "You should cheat on your girlfriend." I said, "Well, I can't do that. Who would I cheat on her with?" She said, "With me." And from there, my ego exploded, right? So then I figured I could do anything I want. And I think that most men have that kind of attribute as well, where they feel like I can only do so much. But once you hit that level, you're like, oh, I can do more now. And it's seen as stepping stones rather than ever trying to build a relationship, because especially in youth, we're taught to, the more experience you have, the more manly you are, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, Jersey. What was your first breakup? Heartbreak? And what was the pettiest reason you ever broke up with someone? Had someone break up with you?
The name thing, right?
Oh
yeah.
The
name thing.
Oh yeah, the name thing. All right. So when did you realize heartbreak was real?
The name that can't be said. I'm sorry, Jersey. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Before you even answer the question, Jersey, that was mad petty, yo.
It was petty.
That was beyond petty because of his name.
Angry.
It was petty until he turned out to be just as crazy as I thought and more.
Okay, all right.
And I was like, bro, I'm
that
so
one. That one intuition.
I'm gonna be thinking about this name for the rest of the week. But go ahead.
I'm so glad I dodged this bullet.
All right. So when did you realize heartbreak was real?
You know, I would say in my high school years, I didn't really date because I grew up with all brothers, so it wasn't like, and they were tall and athletic, and so nobody really like messed with me because they had to go through them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grew up, you know, hanging around them, so I became like one of the guys because, you know, I was always like tagging along with my older brothers. So
how many older brothers can I ask? I'm just trying to paint a picture.
So I had one older brother and two younger brothers, but they were all taller than me.
All monsters, but
all right.
Some were younger, some older.
Yeah.
Okay.
One big brother and two little big brothers.
Yeah. And so it was not, you know. Anyway, so I went from like, I wouldn't say I was a late bloomer, but I went from like one day, it was like movie, right? Like one summer I left school and I was called Flat Cheska and I had nothing. So like I rolled up the next, you know, couple months later, and I mean, it was like, who the hell is this girl and where did all this body come from? So it was like a night and day type of deal. So anyway, so the pettiest reason someone broke up with me is because I wasn't as I wouldn't have sex with them. I wasn't having sex at the time, and all my friends were having sex and getting pregnant. And I think that scared me to not do it because I was like, "Oh, we can get pregnant this early." And so,
Right.
anyway, so I got broken up with for not putting out, which at the time I thought was petty, and I felt pressure, like, "Oh, I gotta do something." But I was like, "Nah, I don't wanna feel pressure." So yeah, I got dumped because I felt at the time that was petty.
Jersey, I got a question.
How wait a minute? How old was the How old was the guy?
I think we're still in middle school. I don't know what ages those are. So maybe I don't know, somewhere in middle school.
So he wasn't older than 16.
No, I wasn't one of the ones that was dating 30-year-olds. He was in like we were both at the same age. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. At that age, yeah, that is kind of petty because, well, I mean, wait a minute, wait.
It matters what social circle you're in because
yeah, it kind of matters. Yeah, it kind of depends on
a lot of how we think things should handle. Not saying he was right, Jersey. I'm just so you know, I'm not defending what he did. I'm just saying based on his social circle, maybe he felt put out, and he's like, shoot, well, I waste all this time with some other girls putting out. Not saying he was right, but his mind frame.
That's kind of the mentality. Like, why am I wasting my time? And I was like, dang,
that's disrespectful and petty. If it's like, why am I wasting my time?
Because everybody was, and my mom didn't allow me to wear makeup, but so everybody was wearing makeup and they was filling out their clothes and stuff. And I was like, dang, I wasn't getting as much attention, but I was cool with that because I was still tagging along, and I was Mike's little sister. And then after one summer, then I became my own name, and that became, oh, that's Kat's older brother. Because before I was just Mike's little sister, but then when I filled out, then they became attached to me as opposed to me attached to them.
Right.
I got another question.
You became Michael. Your brothers actually became Tito, Marlon, and Randy.
Yeah, right.
What you gonna say, Mike?
I'm curious about something, Jersey. And I'll tell you why I ask afterwards. I try not to ask aimless questions, so I'll explain afterwards. But I don't want your question to lean either way based on my example. But who, as a young lady growing up, you were booming and powering and all that good stuff as you grew. Who was teaching you about sex? Because you sound like you were very strong-minded. You didn't want to fall into the other group, and you realized this is what I got to do, and I got my line, and I'm not crossing it. So I'm curious.
Like, who is teaching me?
Hold on. We got somebody else jumping into the stream. I ain't want to cut you off, Jersey, but let's bring JoJo is in the building.
Hi.
What up, Joe? How you doing, JoJo?
I'm doing well. Listen,
Wonderful.
What's his name, Mike? Yeah, like
Mike.
don't question Jersey. Like no, don't do that.
What is the question? I'm confused. Wait, please explain, because there was a lot of questions. So
His question wasn't inappropriate.
Yo, you have to understand. No, she's an alpha. She's an alpha female. Like she is what it is. She is. She's a boss bitch. Like
I don't think she's a bitch.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think she's an alpha female either.
Yeah,
no.
Just let Jersey speak for herself.
Jersey.
That's a different perspective that you have because we know each other personally.
Huh?
I said that it's a different perspective that you'll have of me because we know each other personally.
Exactly. And I just met her.
That is very true.
I'm seeing her like on the outside, and I see she's a boss bitch. Like she's
what
a boss bitch.
What I present and for the people who, I mean, not to say that takes away, but for the people who know me personally, then they know a different side of me. But that doesn't take away from what I present. And like, kind of if I have an opinion or a stance, I'll stand on that hill. But for the select few that know me personally, I have my moments where I'm very feminine and very submissive.
So
So,
Joe, you
no.
gotta explain to me what was the question? I'm still lost. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm listening, but I'm still lost. What question in particular were you referencing?
Wait, what? I didn't ask a question.
No, you said
I
that he asked her a
question.
question. You said don't ask Jersey any questions. What question did he ask her?
Oh,
That you
whatever he was he had asked her. I don't. I'm.
gather? Hold on, JoJo. Gather yourself.
Don't come for
He
me.
said words. Get him.
No, I felt like she was being attacked, and I was just coming after.
Okay, so let's get back. Okay, so let's get back to Mike's question. he was asking Jersey. He was asking Jersey at that time in her life, who was teaching her about sex.
I don't think anyone has taught me about sex in the sense that I know we sit up here and we talk about it. I wish we had these conversations. I mean, granted, give the maturity level, but I wish it had been taught. But I don't think anyone taught me about sex. I learned through consequences. Like, oh, okay, my mom showed me, if you have sex, it can lead to pregnancy. Okay, let's go to a teen pregnancy center and let's speak with the girls up there who have kids. Okay, you want to, your friends are out there going to parties and doing, drugs and all this. Let's go visit the hospital where I work at and let's see what this does to the body. So I knew that this isn't what I wanted. I learned through consequences, but actually learning about sex, I was never taught that. I had to learn that on my own. But I knew what I didn't want, and that was a child in high school, a child in middle school. And so I didn't engage in sex until I was much older, because I knew that, I may not know the little details, but I know doing this will lead to this, and I don't want that. I didn't do drugs because I know, this can turn into this, and I don't want that.
Amen.
I know. I admire your fortitude at such a young age.
Yes, that's definitely was my reason for not doing a lot of things, because I knew how it could turn out. So I just decided not to do it.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not one of them hard heads where you gotta like tell me and show me, and then I'm like, oh no, I gotta be hard headed. Learn myself. Dude, you show me, and I'll be like, oh, bet I don't want that, and I'm not about to have my hard head make a song fast. So.
All right, JoJo, we're gonna give you a chance to get into the conversation. Worst breakup you ever had, and when did you realize that heartbreak was real? Whether you was doing the heartbreaking or you were the one that got your heart broken.
Like, I've never had a breakup where I really never had a breakup. So,
you've never broken up with anyone. So wait a minute.
Or been broken up with?
You've never been broken up with or broke up with anyone in your whole life?
Oh my God.
Are you with your 4th grade boyfriend right now?
Me out there somewhere thinking they still go together.
Mister, shut up.
We still going strong.
So I'm gonna.
We can't hear you, JoJo.
You can't hear me.
There you
Hello?
go.
We hear you now.
No, she just wasn't saying nothing yet. Go ahead, JoJo.
So yes, I broke up with somebody. Dang, I don't want to put it on the spot. Okay, so yeah, I broke up with him because I felt like I had a stigma on him. Like when you're like, I was 17. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, like he needs to like ask me out on dates. He needs to take me out. Like we need to do things. And it wasn't happening. So I was like, okay, like we need to just break up because this is not happening. It's just not good. This is not what I want. And then he was the one first to take my virginity.
Okay.
And then
wait a
I
minute.
turned around.
So y'all was wait a minute. Let me I want to make sure I'm hearing this correctly. So y'all was in a teenage relationship.
Yes.
And he took your virginity.
He took my virginity.
And then you realized that after he took your virginity, that he wasn't doing the things.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like he manipulated you, or did you feel like you just weren't paying close enough attention to his actions and how he was treating you? Do you feel like
No, I feel like I think I put too much pressure on the idea of what we were supposed to be. Like, so,
well,
like,
of course you were what? How old were you? Was he older than you or you older than him?
he was older than me. He was 2 years older than me. I'm not gonna say ages because it's just like it sounds weird because I thought about this prior to.
So
Yeah,
what? He was 19 and you
Yeah,
already
he was
said you were
17.
17. Like, come on, wait a minute. Hold on. You talking to adults here. He was 19, you were 17.
Yeah, oh my god. So yes. So holy shit.
Me and Mike both figured that out at the exact same. Well, you did say you were 17.
Dag nabbit. But anyways, so what had happened was I did break up with him because I was like, yo, you're not like because all I thought I was a hopeless romantic. So like
Okay.
I just knew like, oh yeah, we're gonna go on dates and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and it never happened. Like he never like tried to like date me type kind of thing. But then
Do you think
again,
that him do you think that him taking your virginity and then you realizing that added to his lack of engagement?
no, I think it was just he had no idea what he was doing because I turned around and I wanted to get back together again because he took my virginity and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to have more sex. Like I wanted to have more. Like I wanted to have interaction. Like, and it just wasn't there. But like, I still was really upset because the idea of like, oh yeah, like let's go to the movies. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like,
Do you feel like your sexual energy may have given him mixed signals? Cause you talk about, oh yeah, I still want to have sex, but take me out. But you took my virginity. Like I'm telling you, for a man, even at 19 years old, that's a lot for him. That's a lot on his plate.
It's
When he's standing there with a hard dick in his hand.
oh my god! Yes, it's possible.
Okay, as adults, I just want to, I want to put an adult spin on it. You were teenagers, but now we're adults, so maybe you could look back at it and see, where things might have went a little.
I was wrong. Like I.
No, I don't want to say wrong. Not necessarily wrong.
I'm gonna say it because I do feel like I was wrong because I had the stigma on him as an African American male, like just yes.
Plot thickens.
So plot thickens.
So wait a minute. What is the stigma of the African American male?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear as well.
Is our sexual potency
Oh my god!
found in the loins of the black male?
Dag nabbit! Like I need to stop talking so freaking much. But yeah, yes, that's exactly where it is. So I honestly was inclined and I thought like he's gonna take me out, he's gonna ask me out on a date, he's gonna like make my toes curl type kind of thing. Like that's exactly where I was going with it at 17 because that's my first person.
Did he fulfill any of those?
No.
No?
No.
Not even the sexual?
No.
Oh, he let the potency of the black male's loins. He just let
Yes.
all our loins down.
He did. He definitely did.
He
I'm
let our
sorry.
loins down.
He was like, no. Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, he did. And
But
that's like
okay,
my only
wait. I'm
breakup.
confused because you were a virgin. So how do you know he let you down?
Because I met my husband.
Well, that's an age, that's a time gap, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
a
that's
time lapse. between the two?
No, it's like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yes, it's
Okay.
2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not a time. No. He let me down.
Okay. All right. So what's a petty reason why you broke up with someone? I mean, I'm sorry. What was a petty reason why someone broke up with you? I'm sorry.
Petty reason. I haven't had anybody broke up with me.
Okay.
Okay. I have had petty moments. Okay. So I'm gonna say, oh my God. So me and my husband had issues. So I reached out to the person he was dealing with.
Whoa.
Yeah, yes. Let's talk about this. And I
You
said,
sure?
Yes, I'm gonna say
Okay.
this. I'm gonna say this. Hopefully O'Neill's listening or watching this, but I'm gonna say this. Okay, so I told the girl, I was like, "You're such a whore. If we look on, we look you up on the dictionary. Yeah, you'll be like, if you look up whore, your picture comes up, and your name and number comes up as well. Yeah, I was like really petty. Like, oh, I was looking back at it, like, damn, I was a bitch.
Well, I don't think that was too wrong. I mean, you were defending your territory, for lack of better words, right?
I was. Oh,
Yeah.
I like you. Okay.
I hear that sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah.
And can I just, Joe? I want to throw in one more thing, right?
Go ahead.
Because the gentleman who you lost your virginity to, it sounds like y'all were together probably a little earlier, around 16, and he was 18, and then y'all got older and things happened.
17, 19.
17,
19.
17 to 19.
19. Yeah.
Yeah, but how long were y'all actually together is my question.
Like literally like maybe 3 months. I broke up with him because he literally was like not doing anything. And I think he was like as hurt, like for the most part. So, cause I kind of sort of make believe wanted to get back with him. Yeah, like he didn't want to get back with me because he was like, he was like over it. But
I
he
would
wanted.
say that's a petty reason. I think like that's one of the things we as women have struggled with over the, in society. On one hand, we're being shown what romance is, right, from movies and everything. So you grow up with this fantasy, and then reality turns out not to be the same.
This is
And that's on one hand. But on the other hand, we learn to not expect things to be like the movies, but we want to be courted. We want to be dated. We want some thought and effort to go into.
My God.
And then men or boys growing into men start to think, oh, you're asking me too much. And even just a simple like plan a date or, something inexpensive or put some thought and effort into it becomes like, oh, that's too much. You're asking me too much when I can go down the street and get the same thing easier, right? And so then we're being taught like, oh, we're asking too much to be dated or to be courted. And so then it becomes like you lower your standards, women as a whole, and you learn to expect less and to ask for less. And then it just becomes like this cycle where we're learning that this isn't the movies, but there needs to be some sort of dating, courting process if that is the goal, if a relationship is the goal. If it's not, then that needs to be identified up front so that you're not expecting something from someone else. And then they're not constantly, fielding questions like, oh, well, now we're on 2 separate pages because I'm not looking for that, but you clearly are. Right. So it's just kind of this game of dating and this back and forth where there's no communication.
Or lack of dating.
Yeah, a lot of dating. But then now relationships look different. And that's like such a big turnoff. It's like put some effort into dating. It doesn't have to be expensive, but I at least need to see the effort.
And that's what was not there. Like it was not there at all. At all. So,
and then at one point we were like called high maintenance as women or just for asking for like little things. Now we get labeled.
High maintenance bad though?
It's not
No.
bad, but they were using it as a negative just because you were asking for effort. Now it's too much, you're high maintenance, and it was used in a derogatory way. Not that it is bad.
Okay, just clarifying. That's all.
No, let's talk about how I got him a gift for I don't even know what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, because y'all together for 3 months. You got him a gift?
Yes.
Wait a minute, what did I miss? Hold on, I gotta get caught back up.
They were together.
Wait a minute, are we?
That Joe was in was only 3 months.
The relationship that you was in that lost the virginity?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was only 3 months?
Yes.
Hold on, Joe. Wait a minute. Hold on, Joe. Joe. 3 months? I hear my back. Oh, okay.
She was having some issues because I think the echo was coming through her phone. So.
Oh, okay. Well, she'll jump back in.
Yeah.
But the fact that relationship was only 3 months, I mean, it's hard to really get a good read on anyone in 3 months. Jersii, how long do you think it takes for a woman to get a read on a man?
I think it depends on what the energy given off. I think if you're like, both are looking for relationships and they're constantly like, I had to break up with, I don't want to say break up with someone, but stop talking to someone because it was just like, oh, they trying to immediately jump into the sexual stuff. Like, oh, send pics and this and that. And like, oh no, that's not what this is, buddy. But if they're giving off that type of energy,
how recently was that?
I wasn't that. What, last year sometime?
Yeah, that's recent.
Yeah, so if they're giving off that type of energy, then you can get a read on that pretty quick. But I would say, I don't know, it just depends because you're on your best behavior. It's the honeymoon stage. It's supposed to be at the beginning of a relationship. So you got to give that time to like see pattern, behavior, habits. So it takes sometimes it can take a couple months for someone to get comfortable.
Do you think it's wise to be on your best behavior when you're meeting someone for the first time?
I don't think we do it consciously all the time. I think it's an unconscious habit that we have. Of course, when you flirt, you want to laugh at jokes. Everything is funny, it's cute, right? Until you say, oh, this mother don't never stop playing. And then things start getting on your nerves. So we do it unconsciously, subconsciously we do it. We're on our best behavior. We are funny and witty and we text back immediately and all that other stuff. So like I think it's something that we do. Yeah, like a job interview until eventually, all that starts.
Until you get the job.
Right? Now you got purple hair. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm going to ask that same question to you, Mike. Do you feel it's wise to be on your best behavior when you're meeting someone for the first time? Or should you just be who you naturally are?
I've always been absolutely awful. And that's just because I learned a long time ago that oftentimes, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but oftentimes I've noticed women respond more to wanting to change something. And if there's nothing to change, it's almost boring. We were talking earlier about appeasing someone versus them being attracted to you. And I think that the polar opposites of man and woman oftentimes are more magnetic when you feel as though there's something to do. So I've always had that in the back of my head, and I've always been a complete jerk to start with, and then it kind of eases up. But being the complete jerk gets you everything you want, while the good girls like bad boys type of scenario, So I'll say that I'm on my best behavior when we meet. When I first meet you, have to get your number, and then I just kind of slide into being myself. Maybe the worst version of myself immediately, then just kind of alleviate from there. But that's always been more of my process.
Okay. As for myself, I realized that when I was younger, I used to try to be like we were talking about earlier, Mike. I was trying to be who I projected myself to be. I was projecting myself to be something. And I was trying to live up to that. But I realized my relationships became much more healthy and much more fruitful and much just, just overall better in almost every way when I just said, you know what? I don't give a fuck no more. I'm just going to be myself. I don't care. And if it pushes the person away,
So be
so be it.
Yeah.
If it draws them to me, great. I'm not going to lose no sleep either way. And that has become much more successful for me than me ever trying to be what I thought people or what I thought a woman would want me to be. So I know that, like Jersey said, we are usually on our best behavior when we meet somebody for the first time, but that can actually be very misleading, and it's a facade that you may not be able to keep up. And then you build an expectation, and now that person's going to end up being disappointed because now they're going to feel like, okay, I met this person and now they're changing. It's not that they're changing. They're just now showing you who they really are because they weren't being honest up front. So
and
that's not,
like I said, I don't think it's something that we know we do.
Right.
But,
we've all done it. Most of us have done it. Even in Mike's scenario, he did it, but he did it in the opposite way.
Yeah, so it's something that we all engage in to some extent. I think what has helped me is that I always try to be myself, and I like to have uncomfortable conversations. Like, okay, these are the things I like, I don't like. Like, what do you think about this? This is where I'm going. And at one point, it was a deal breaker for me down here to Hawaii to go to school. But I said, hey, my end game is to be a doctor. It's going to take X amount. Joe.
Somebody's, Joe, is that you?
It is me.
People went crazy. All right.
Oh, there she goes. We need it. But yeah, so even out here in Hawaii, and before I came to Hawaii, just the different relationships. It's like, hey, I know my end goal is to be a doctor. This is what the road looks like ahead. You can either be in the relationship to support it, or, it's best that we don't waste each other's time. And that's not, that's just being real. And so I've had people who just can't handle this long process, but now here we are at the end of it. And I don't regret not engaging in those relationships because I'm going to be myself regardless. And I know what I'm willing to sacrifice to get there. And a lot of people aren't ready for that journey of putting in the work to see the fruit on the other end. So I think that's what has helped me. I always try to be myself regardless, and with some adjusting that I need to do, but I've always just tried to be who I am, stick to my principles, my values. And if it don't align, it just don't align, and no love lost. And I don't, I try to live without regrets. And sometimes that relationship may not be for you at that time, and it may come around again and it may match up, but at that time, it's just not a match.
Okay. Jojo, you there?
I get it. I'm here.
All right. So the question is, do you feel like a person should be on their best behavior when they meet someone for the first time, or should they just be their natural self? Don't put on any facade. Don't put your best foot forward. Show the person your flaws right off the bat, not show them your flaws, but just show them who you really are, and let them judge the flaws or judge you on a true, honest scale.
First impressions is very lasting impressions. So I definitely think.
You don't think it's detrimental to be on your okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think so many people are usually on their best behavior when they meet someone for the first time?
Because they're assholes and they're fake.
You know what I like?
That was short. Okay.
At the beginning of a relationship, I like to say, I sleep with the TV on. You would be surprised of like how much that is a deal breaker for some people. Some people
that's horrible.
You said that you said that you sleep with the TV on?
I do sleep with the TV on, and I like to tell people.
Oh my god! I have to tell my husband.
I do. I sleep with the TV on.
Oh my god! That's
how TVs turn off in the middle of the night. You know how the TVs turn off in the middle of the night? I will wake up and turn it back on. Go back.
No.
You gonna need 2 bedrooms.
Like my electricity bill is so up high.
Ain't no way in the world I could understand falling asleep with the TV on, but if you get back up and turn that son of a bitch back on,
Turn it back on.
Somebody got to go down on the couch, and it ain't gonna be me.
That's why you gotta get a house with a couple bedrooms.
Exactly.
That's a deal breaker.
You gotta have a man cave.
You do. I know it's a deal breaker, and I like to say that at the beginning. Like, hey, yo, when you go into the next level, I just let you know I sleep with the TV on, and I will turn it back on.
Ashley Larry said, best to show who you are naturally. If you plan on building something with someone, later on that fake ish will crumble the foundation of what it was built upon. Absolutely. Yeah, I can honestly say that I've been on both sides of the coin where I was trying to be what I thought the person wanted me to be, and it worked sometimes, but I couldn't maintain it. I can maintain just being my regular self. That's easy. I could do that with my eyes closed. I could just be my regular old boring self. You know, I'm not very exciting. I'm to myself. I'm introverted. I'm quiet. I don't like to do a lot of things, but the things I like to do, I'll do them passionately. And that's it. And I'm fine with that. If a person likes it, they do. If they don't, oh well. But it definitely saves a lot of trouble and a wasted time. All right, let's see. Ashley Larry said, I'll sleep with the TV on, have no problem with it. I need that background noise. Nah, I can't sleep with the TV on.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I can't sleep with the TV.
I need the TV. I need the and I try to put on something boring too, because if it's interesting, I will turn right back around and start watching it.
That's why I can't sleep with the TV on, because if it's something interesting, I won't be able to go to sleep.
Right. And then I fall asleep on it. When I wake back up, I'll go back to the part that I fell asleep on and continue watching it.
Jersii,
my husband has watched
Jersii, you a menace.
The same episode for like 4 times.
I know, because you gotta watch it. I need to know.
You actually have to watch the episode.
Okay, so what's Jojo, what's one of the worst I started to talk about this earlier, but I think Jersii jumped in before we got into the conversation. And then we went back to ask her the questions that I originally asked. But what's one of the worst excuses you've ever, like, if someone tried to cancel a date or you had to cancel a date with someone, what's one of the most bogus, worst, petty excuses you've given? That you know, honestly, going back and live, if even when you're about to tell us this right now, you already know it's gonna sound mad. It's gonna sound mad bogus. Like, ain't no way in the world nobody gonna believe this. What's the worst reason or excuse you've given, or you have been given?
I haven't had one, or I don't have one. Like,
you've never been given an excuse like, nah, no. I can't meet up, and you've never given one either.
Let me
you don't want to incriminate yourself any further.
Let me think about it.
That's woman code. We can't be out here in these streets.
Yeah, because I
we can't be out here in these streets. No.
No, I really no, I haven't had an opportunity where, like, I really, like, literally just have like 2 guys that I been with.
But I'm talking about, like, maybe somebody that was interested in you. And they like, hey, let's go out this Saturday. And you're like, nah, I gotta walk my dogs.
So it's so it's me giving the excuse, or
either way.
Either way.
Okay. Dang. No. I did have a moment. So I had a moment where, like, it was a guy on like basically email type kind of thing, and he like was like talking to me, and he had another female on the line, and I don't know how it happened, but he like switched over to me, like where I was on the phone, and he was like, yeah, hey, so what's up? Are we going to do this on the weekend or whatever? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, hey, like,
so he was talking to both of y'all at the same time and switching back and forth.
Yes.
That sounds like some old school player back in the
That's
day.
when you got the landline. You got to be like,
yeah. That was
And
that old school
he
get your
was
ass in
mad at
trouble
me.
right there.
Yes, but he was mad at me. He was mad at me because I caught him, and I'm like, he was at the point where he was like, "Oh yeah, like you would have like such cute kids," and I'm like, "Cute kids? I'm like 18. I don't want any kids. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, you would have like such cute." Like, so the thought process was like, he was weird. He was very weird. And I fell into it because I thought, I was like, oh, he's cute. He has his own apartment. Like, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, like, no. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, I was caught up.
All right. Jersey, I know you said it's a girl code or woman code, but it's time for you to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. What's the worst excuse you've given to someone to not have to meet up with them? And what's an excuse you feel like you was given that you was like, Ninja, please. You ain't Ninja, please.
Ninja.
No one has ever given me an excuse. Like anyone who has ever set up a date or asked me out has shown up. I've never been stood up. We've always met or whatever. So I've never gotten an excuse of why.
Okay, let me open the question up a little bit for you. All right. What's the worst lie you've ever been told? I know you got an answer to that. What's the worst lie? I want everybody to answer that question. What's the worst lie you've ever been told by someone you were involved with?
That dudes get weird when it comes to that kitty cat. No pun intended. Well, in terms of the original question, I think I have been very fortunate to have a body type that appeals to most men. So with that being said, I've never have received an excuse of not going out. And so everyone who's ever asked me has shown up. And then on the other side of that, given an excuse, I've never given an excuse not to go out. If I don't want to go, I will flat out say, nah, I don't want to go. I've had people that I was not attracted to ask me out, and I went anyway. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's one aspect. Let me see if we connect on another level. And so I've told people like, hey, I will go out. Like, oh, I'm not really looking for a romantic relationship with you, but you seem cool or whatever. Whether that's friend zoning or whatever. But I've never made.
Yeah, that's friend zoning.
It's friend zoning. I've never made an excuse because I don't like to lie, and I don't like to maintain a lie. I'd rather just tell you, and then you just be mad at me for me telling you the truth. Because I won't feel bad if I gave it to you real, and then you got mad at me. Like, what else you want me to do? Lie?
Ladies,
else ever lie to you?
I'd rather just tell the truth, and you be mad at me for the truth, because then I don't feel guilty about it. But the worst lie that I've ever received, I think, was someone lied to me to go out with me, saying that they weren't married. And then,
Jesus
Christ. Wow.
Not only did they have a wife, they had a whole ass child.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the time, I always go by my gut feeling, whether I could prove something or not. I still stand by it. Has never let me wrong. And I knew something was off when the behavior changed. At first, the phone was always available. I could pick it up and like look up things when my phone died or was somewhere else. And then when that behavior started changing, of the phone started turning or angling away from me, all of a sudden there was a code on the phone, or they would unlock it for me and then hover over me. I'm like, oh, something off. And then it didn't lock immediately when he went to the shower, and it kept pinging. And so I picked it up, and then that's when I saw it. And I'm like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. So that was fun.
All right, Mike, what about you? You was going to say something else, Jersey?
No.
I was just saying, dang.
What about you, Mike? The worst lie How many you've been involved with has ever told you, bro?
And not,
and I want to give the caveat of not, like they told me they loved me and they didn't, because that's like very common. That's an easy answer. Worst lie a significant other or partner, girlfriend ever told you?
It's easy. It's always the same lie.
Always with every woman, it's always the same
lie.
Hold on now, Mike. Wait a minute, bro. This might be the problem might be you.
No.
If it's the same lie with every woman, you might want to look at
everybody else.
Go ahead. I'm just playing with you, Mike. Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
And it doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened a nice handful of times. Where a woman will say that they're pregnant and they need money.
Whoa!
They don't be pregnant.
That's such a horrible lie, and it's so horrible how common it is.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty clear cut. But as far as the date and not reason not to go on a date, I actually got an interesting one.
Okay.
So I was dating a young lady. She was Trinidadian out of Brooklyn, and I brought her to Queens Day to my homeboys in Left Rack, Iraq. If anybody knows Queens, and everybody loved her. She was beautiful. She had a car, which is very rare when you in New York, right? Me and chick with a car. She's like a chauffeur. We're going everywhere. It was great, but we never actually been on an actual date. So I'm like, all right, we hadn't had sex or nothing like that, and I was like, all right, I guess we about to go on this dang date. So we going on a date downtown Brooklyn, and we going to BBQs. And God must like me, because I'm very, 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 very frugal. I ain't trying to really go on no date. I ain't trying to do nothing. But we go to BBQs, and at the door of BBQs, we run into a couple. And she's like, oh my God. And she had been dropping all these times. She's like, oh my God, they hug each other. And you ever see somebody hug like this?
Yeah.
Like, that church hug?
Mm-hmm.
And I flipped it. And I said, we've been talking about some things, but I gotta ask you, are you one of them like super Christians? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I guess born again Christians. Like, oh my God, yes. I was like, okay, so you believe in marriage before you have any type of sex and stuff of that nature. She's like, yeah. I said, but you're born again, which means at some point you was having sex, right?
Right.
I mean, you having sex with other people, but I gotta marry you to have sex with you. She was like, well, she didn't like how I put it, but I put it.
Of course not.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna beat around the bush on it. And she's like, yeah. I said, okay, well, I don't want to bring you away from your comfort zone because I know my intention, and I think that we should both go home. And I couldn't imagine.
You are very frugal, bro, because BBQ is pretty cheap.
I tell you, I said, okay, well, we can't go. She said, well, I drove you. How are you getting home? I said, I can take the train. I'm good with that.
We in New York City.
Yeah, and that was. She's like, no, come on, we're already here, and I would not go in through the door. I'm like, I'm not going to pay for a dinner, knowing that this is going nowhere because I'm not going to marry you. So, and I just left. Well, that was it.
All right, Jersey says she had to go. Thank you so much for joining us, Jersey. We appreciate it. All right. She says she'll still be in the comment section though. She'll still be in the comment section.
Yeah, you got the work to do. I get it. God bless her. Stay on your journey.
Absolutely. Okay. Question to you now, JoJo. The biggest lie.
Oh God.
Biggest lie, your partner, significant other, someone you were dating, biggest lie they ever told you. And then I'll answer the question before we get up out of here.
Biggest lie.
Biggest lie. You not a suspicion. I'm talking about where you know for sure that they were lying.
That he was dealing with somebody else. Definitely.
And did you confronted them and asked him like, yo, are you dealing with somebody else? And he looked you straight in the face and said no?
Yes.
That's a big ass lie. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a big ass lie.
Yes, and I had to I definitely sent a text to her. I was like, "Yo, I know you guys are doing something and blah blah blah, and if we look your name up in the dictionary, your name will come up as a whore." Yeah, that's petty. That, remember we were doing petty stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I don't
yeah.
think it's petty still,
Yeah,
but
I don't think there's anything petty about this though. Nah, this is the one thing. This is the one thing I refuse to laugh about.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's definitely like yes. So I definitely told her I was like, yo, like if I look your name up in the dictionary, you're gonna be a whore. You're gonna have your name up and name and number. It's gonna be what it is. She got upset. She got upset with him, and I'm like, you're upset with him, and he got upset with me. Hilarious. Oh my
Love
god,
triangle.
I'm not.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you this, Joe.
Go ahead.
Looking back on it, right? How would you have handled that differently now? With the wisdom that you have now, how would you have handled that situation differently if you had to go back in time?
I would have left. I would have left.
Great answer.
Like, I would have left. Like back then, I honestly would have left. At that point, because it was like blatantly in my face, like he was showing me he's not for me. But like again, now he's for me. But back then he wasn't. And like, yeah, I would have left. I would have left.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
what about
I mean, for me, the biggest lie someone told, for me, I understand that people cheat.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that people lie,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it's like there's some unwritten rules that I feel like we all are aware of or should be aware of. And the biggest lie that I was ever told to me is I had to confront someone and ask them, were me and this person was involved, deeply involved. And I had to ask them, were they sleeping with our coworker? Like me and her also worked with him. We all worked together. And I had to ask her, I already knew the truth. So she should have known when I asked the question that I had some idea what the truth was. And I asked her, I said, look, someone came back and told me something that only you and I know. And I know I haven't told anyone because I don't like anyone in my business. So the only way that this person would have been able to get this information from you, get this information would have been from you. Now, how did it get back to me? And you're telling me you never told anyone. I know I never told anyone. So that means you're lying. And what was told to me came across as pillow talk. So now I know that, okay, for you to be having this type of conversation with this gentleman, y'all must have some type of intimate relationship. And once that information was brought to me, it's kind of like, like when Neo in the Matrix and he started to see everything just go down the screen. Then everything fell into place. I was like, oh, because she was giving me little hints here and there. And then once that finally, that I just needed that one little piece to put the whole puzzle together. And I was like, oh, you're sleeping with him. I get it. I understand. Because there's no way that he would know these things about me if he wasn't intimate and close with you. And now these little stories and everything that I've been peeping, okay, I get it now. But, love will have you. Sometimes you can have all the evidence, but you need the
satisfaction of confirmation.
Yeah, you need the
that
confirmation.
confirmation. Like
You need the
yes,
confession.
the confession,
Right.
which always comes. It
Right.
always
I
comes.
needed the confession because I had invested so much into this person. I felt like she owed me a confession. And she never gave it to me, but I knew actually I take that back. She did give me the confession. But it was after I didn't care anymore. But in that moment when I was in my emotions, she didn't give me the confession that I wanted. But yeah, that was the biggest lie because of all, you know, like for me, let's say me and Mike work together, right? And I know me and Mike are best friends. And him and his lady break up. Let's say there's no way in the world I would ever, of all the women in the world, there's no way in the world I would ever talk to his lady. Even if he like, I don't care, Tove, we've been broken up for years. Nah, Mike, I'm not talking to you because that's an unwritten rule. Where I grew up, you just don't do that. It's an unwritten rule. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, of all the dicks in this world she could have chose, she chose this dude that we working together with, you know?
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was just the biggest betrayal. I don't care about the cheating or the lying. It's the betrayal that I didn't like. And that will hurt my standing with anyone more than cheating or lying, is you betraying me. If I'm asking you, tell me straight up. If I'm asking you, there's a possibility that we can reconcile things and at least go our separate ways amicably. But if you're going to lie to my face, it's kind of like you letting me know that everything that we've done in the past, everything that we've built, everything that we've invested, every moment that we shared wasn't worth whatever it is that you had to lie to me about. And that's like an ultimate betrayal when you really, you know, when you're a genuine person. And that is one of the reasons why a lot of people stray away from being genuinely good people. You know, they always keep one in their pocket and one in the chamber because you never know, you know. And to end the conversation is like, the reason why most people break up is because they're even, most of the time we talking about worst breakup. The reason why a lot of people break up is because they're in the relationship with one foot out the door already. Because everyone believes that everybody already has a backup. You know, everyone believes that no one's fully invested, and I don't want to look stupid. So before I look stupid, I'm gonna make the other person look stupid, and I'm gonna cheat first. So I'm gonna have somebody on the side first because you ain't gonna make me look dumb. What people don't realize is love and relationships is not about making somebody look dumb. It's about making people feel loved, appreciated, cherished, giving and receiving, you know, reciprocity. So I think that that's something that a lot of people need to focus on and pay attention to, especially in this day and age that we living in now. Because with the click of a button, men and women out here, whether they 10s or 3s, have thousands of options. And all they have to do is just play the numbers game. And eventually they'll get lucky. Eventually, so one night you're gonna get lucky if you keep playing the lottery, whether you win 1 million or you win 500. If you play your whole life, you're gonna win something. It's just the numbers game eventually. So I think that you know, it may sound corny, it may sound old school, but you know, you got to think about quality over quantity. You know, you find somebody good, you hold on to them.
Most definitely.
You know, find somebody good and hold on to them, and don't get caught up in this that fake world that a lot of us, especially the younger generation, is living on. And it's a shame because the younger generation is influencing the older generation to live in that world too. So then who's teaching who? Are the young people teaching the elders, or the elders teaching the youngsters? We don't know. Well, hold on, let me bring JoJo in so she can give her parting words, and we'll let Mike give his parting words. And then, you know, we're going to get up out of here. We'll be back on Thursday. Everybody that's watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, we're going to bring JoJo back in. All right, JoJo, you back?
I'm here.
All right. So, JoJo, you got any to prevent breakups in the future? You know, things that, what would be a piece of advice? You know, from a married woman, you've let us know that you've had some issues and some trials and tribulations, and you were able to overcome. So, what would be your word of advice to people out here in relationships, looking to be in relationships? What advice would you give to them?
Okay.
No, I did that by myself. Go ahead, Jojo. Sorry.
No. Mike, don't do that to me. Honestly, I can't sit here and tell you like any type of advice, because being married for the years that I have been, it's a job, like, so I can't, I don't know, I can't give you advice.
I'm not asking you to give me advice. I'm asking you to give. I don't need the advice. I'm asking you to give the young ladies advice.
I can't give them advice. I can't. Like, it's just like, just work for it. Like, just work for it. Like, it's a job. It's a job. It's a whole job. Just do what you need to do. Work for it.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
All right. No problem. All right. Mike, what are your parting words, bro? We're gonna bring you to the front of the stage.
Sure. In my parting words, I am going to quote the great Devil de Jersey, and I am going to say that you must communicate and have the hard conversations. And as Joe was saying, there is a lot of work. There's a work component. And you have to do the work, but a lot of the work is simply communication. A lot of the work is just communication, because otherwise, like a raisin in the sun, it will fester, right? And you want to be able to trust someone, but if the basis of the relationship is to keep things vague, so you never really have to explain yourself, then it's hard to develop that trust. So to develop a solid foundation, is important to communicate wholeheartedly, and always be cognizant. Keep your eyes open. Tove was talking earlier about he got that missing piece, and all of a sudden he could see the relationship like Neo saw the Matrix. You want to keep your eyes open, and you're not an adolescent. You have to be able to understand and put your own spin on things, because not every single word someone tells you is going to be the truth. So you got to be willing to listen, interpret, communicate.
All right, absolutely, great advice, Mike, and I appreciate that. My parting words, I would say to everyone, I think a lot of people like to play the victim, and a lot of times when things happen to them, and I've said this plenty of times, when something bad happens to you, a lot of people say to themselves, "Oh my God, why would this person do this to me? God, why would this happen to me? Why would you treat me this way?" And I would beg of people, before you ask God or you ask to yourself, why did this happen to me? You always got to think or ask God, who have I done this to? Who have I done this to? Because sometimes that's that karma coming back to you to teach you a very valuable lesson, to make sure that you don't do it again. And a lot of times when we're hurt or we're heartbroken, we don't think about the heartbreak that we've caused someone else. We don't think about the heartbreak and the pain and the crying that someone else has done over you, because you've moved on to someone else, and now they're breaking your heart. You're not thinking about the person that you broke their heart. But karma has a great memory. So I would say, always remember what you've done to other people before you point the finger at other people. Look at yourself in the mirror and try to understand how and where can I learn from this situation to become a better person, so I don't continue to recreate these same mistakes over and over and over again. And if we put out good energy, we get good karma that comes back to us. A lot of times we harp on the bad karma that we get in our lives, but we don't give the good karma enough recognition. So be good to everyone, not just the person you're in a relationship with, and that good karma will come back to you. And it might come back to you in the form of a great man or woman, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter. You never know how it's going to come back to you. So that would be my parting words. Jojo, Mike, Jersey Devil, everybody in the comment section, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was a great conversation, and we need to keep having conversations like this. People need to hear these type of conversations. People need to engage in these type of conversations, and they need to take these conversations, have them with their significant others, the youth, and anyone that will listen. Because, like Jersey said, like Mike said, like Jojo said, is you got to work. Friendship, relationships is like a job. You know, you get up every morning and you go to work religiously, and then you come home and give a half-ass effort to your relationship. That's not going to do you well in the long run. You know, because like I said, at the end of your days, you ain't gonna say, Lord, go get me my bank account and put it next to my deathbed. You want your wife there, you want your kids there. You know, that bank account, whatever, ain't gonna mean nothing when you're on your deathbed. Because there ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna soothe you like your partner or your kids. So work your relationship the same way you would work a job. Jojo did have a very good piece of advice. Work your relationship the same way you work your job. Pour into your relationship the way you pour into your career. They are both very, very beneficial. But I doubt at the end of the day, if you're on your deathbed, you're gonna say, yo, go get my college degree. Go get that college degree and put it next to me and let me just go on into the sunset. If you do, that's good for you, but it definitely wouldn't be me. My man Mike, thank you, my brother.
Peace. Indeed.
All right, Jojo, thank you so much. This is your boy, Little Fat Mushy Toe, representing the WCIS. We can't inspire someone. OPP, only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Hev. Shout out to Uncle Deep V. You ready, Mike? And thank you for tuning into the community. That's all about. Hey. All right, I want y'all to stay blessed, stay beautiful, but most importantly, stay positive. And we'll see y'all on Thursday at 8:30, y'all. All right, peace out.
Cheers.
Later.